drop shot's one of the great weapons in tennis. And also, it's a lot of fun to play it, because it really is fun to see your opponent come all the way from the baseline up here just to get that drop shot, and sometimes he slips and falls a little for you. But the tough thing about it is, if you don't play it perfectly, the chances are you're going to lose the point. So to help you with this big problem, let's go to Marty Riessen.
The drop shot is a very special shot. It's a shot that you caress, and you try and hit it just over the net with a little bit of backspin, so it bounces twice before your opponent can get to it. It has to bounce very low, and it is especially good on some surfaces, much better on clay and on grass than it is on cement or asphalt. The technique on the drop shot is much like an approach shot. It starts out like you're moving into the net for an approach, kind of a short backswing. You caress the ball and drop the racket head under, imparting backspin. So the ball will just clear the net and have this backspin, which will stop the ball and keep it low once it's cleared the net. The technique on the forehand drop shot, where the ball is hit with underslice, is much the same as on the backhand, where you again come under the ball with a little bit more slice. There are certain situations that you should use this shot, and that's basically when your opponent is behind the baseline and you're inside your own baseline. Another time you might try the drop shot for an element of surprise would be on someone's second serve, because usually they'd stay right on the baseline and you could drop the ball right over the net. Where do you place the drop shot on the court? Well, I can play it in two places, either down the line or across court. The main reason is you want to keep it nearer to the sidelines so that your opponent has to play over the high part of the net. Usually you try and play to your opponent's weakness and then just keep it short and try and keep it low. There are two types of opponents that the drop shot is especially effective against. The first one is the slowpoke, who can't get to the net to get that ball. And the second one is the person who doesn't want to come to the net in the first place to make a volley. So you draw them in with a drop shot, and if they get to the ball, then you pass them or lob over their head. But against these opponents, or any opponents, you can't use the drop shot too often because they'll get to the net too quickly for you. So remember, the important thing is the element of surprise. Here's a hint on how I like to practice the drop shot. I like to start out with the ground stroke and then move to an approach shot. And then I try and hit a short ball with underspin until I have the drop shot.